Hello, and welcome to our lesson on project monitoring and project control. This segment will cover project change control. In project management, deviations from the initial plan are almost unavoidable. These changes may stem from oversights, the emergence of new opportunities, or unforeseen events and challenges. They necessitate adjustments to the project's work, potential reorganization, or addition of personnel, and often involve trade-offs among time, cost, and performance. To meet deadlines and financial constraints, alterations to system specifications, technical performance sacrifices, and project plan changes may become imperative. Each change sets off a chain reaction, requiring adjustments to other components of the end item and project, creating a ripple effect that rarely occurs in isolation. As a general principle, the later in the project a change occurs, the more adverse its effects. The further along the project timeline, the more work must be undone and redone in response to a change. Design modifications during fabrication and testing, and even more so during construction and installation, lead to increased costs, extended project duration, and potential morale issues. Various factors prompt changes throughout a project, and the primary 5 types are: changes in project scope and specifications. During the early stages of development, increased uncertainty often necessitates project scope and specifications alterations. Changes in design. Errors, omissions, unknowns, afterthoughts, or revised needs can prompt necessary or discretionary modifications in design. Changes mandated by external factors, government codes, labor contracts, supplier requirements, community considerations, or other environmental factors may compel alterations to the project plan. Changes for improved project. Return. Changes that aim to enhance the project's rate of return, a challenging aspect to estimate, should be referred to upper management for decisions. Changes for perceived improvements. Individuals may seek changes to improve upon original requirements, potentially expanding the project beyond its initial scope. Distinguishing between necessary and discretionary modifications is crucial. Implementing a formal change control system is crucial to mitigate the number of changes and their negative impact on project budgets and schedules. The change control system comprehensively reviews proposed design and work changes, filters out unnecessary ones, and ensures that all related work is appropriately reviewed, revised, and authorized. This system should continuously identify changes as they occur, unveil the consequences of changes regarding their impact on project costs, duration, and other tasks, communicate changes to all concerned parties, ensure the implementation of approved changes, provide a monthly summary of all changes to date and their impact on the project. Established early in the project, the change control system plays a pivotal role in identifying and measuring the consequences of changes throughout the project lifecycle. It enables managers to assess the impact of proposed changes on current estimates and project plans and trace performance differences back to specific approved changes. The change control system entails stringent procedures for minimizing design and work changes. These include clear and agreed-upon statements of original work scope and work orders, including specific schedules, budgets, and statements of work. Ongoing monitoring of work to ensure adherence to specifications. Vigilant screening of tasks for potential cost or schedule overruns indicative of a change in work scope, with prompt corrective action. Procedures to control and minimize design and work changes. A predefined request and approval process for all discretionary changes. Similar control procedures are applied to all subcontractors and suppliers for all purchase orders and test requests. Assessment of the impact of all necessary or de facto changes on the end item and project, leading to revisions of designs and plans to reflect the effect. Imposing a predefined project freeze against all non-essential changes at a specific phase, preventing alterations to the design to facilitate the commencement of the next project stage. This process ensures that all design and work changes are documented regarding their effects on work orders, budgets, schedules, and contractual prices, undergo formal review, and are ultimately assessed for acceptance or rejection. Within project control, an integral component involves continually evaluating project activities, changes, and achievements against the stipulations outlined in the contract. This process includes invoicing the customer and encompasses the payment of bills. The dedicated task of ensuring that both the developer contractor and the customer adhere to the commitments outlined in the contract falls under the domain of contract administration. Functioning as a subset of project control, tailored explicitly to contracted work, contract administration encompasses a spectrum of responsibilities. These include authorizing the commencement of work, closely monitoring work in terms of budgets, schedules, and technical performance, upholding quality standards, overseeing changes, and facilitating the invoicing and receipt of payments for completed work. Despite the diligence of the project manager and the project control system, challenges persist. The following issues were identified. Overemphasis on a single factor. When the control process fixates on a single factor, such as cost, while neglecting others like schedule and technical performance, imbalances occur. Resistance to control procedures. Some project team members resist or fail to comply with control procedures. This resistance may arise from a lack of understanding regarding the benefits and necessity of formal controls. Managers contribute to this non-compliance when they do not enforce sanctions against individuals who defy the established procedures. Incomplete reporting of problems. Team members, aware of issues, may not accurately or thoroughly report them. Whether due to a lack of understanding or hesitation to disclose problems, the information provided may be fragmented and challenging to piece together. Bias in self-appraisal systems. Control systems relying solely on self-appraisal of work, progress, and quality can compel individuals to act defensively and provide biased information. Indifference to controversial issues. Managers sometimes adopt an indifferent stance toward controversial issues, assuming they will resolve themselves over time. This attitude can convey a lack of managerial commitment to the control process, potentially influencing others negatively. Misrepresentation of charges. Managers overseeing multiple projects may misrepresent charges to offset poor performance in one project with achievements in others. While familiar in organizations with numerous contracts from the same customer, this practice distorts historical data, compromises ethical standards, and can lead to mischarging the customer. Inaccurate reporting mechanisms. Information reporting and accounting mechanisms may be incorrect or misleading. Reliance on subjective measures, like the earned value of open work packages, can create a misleading impression of work completion. Active support for the control process from upper, functional, and project managers is essential to mitigate these challenges. All project members must comprehend the significance of the control process and how it contributes to the project's success. This is the end of this segment of our lesson. In the next segment, we shall discuss Monitoring and Controlling Process Group. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening and see you on our next segment.